Edwin Reyes, and today I will be conducting an interview with two Albuquerque teens where I'll ask them some questions about their experiences with drugs and drug education in school. My first question is, when did you first experiment with drugs?
Well, the first time I've ever smoked marijuana I was 17 years old. It was towards the end of my senior year of high school. And I've smoked pretty consistently since then.
I smoked marijuana for the first time when I was 13.
Do you know any other friends who have experimented with drugs?
Yes, most of my friends pretty much all smoke weed and like to experiment with various drugs, but are able to maintain it pretty well.
I tried it first among my friends, I think, and then a little later on, not because I was like the younger one out of my friends, so majority of them started smoking around a year later.
And about how old would you say they were when they started smoking?
I would say they were around 14 years old when
Gotcha.
they started smoking.
Around 13 years old,
13.
Just around middle school.
Now, did you ever receive any type of education about drugs when you were in school?
Yeah, very little. In 7th grade, they had some security people come and talk to us, just give us pamphlets on certain drugs and tell us not to do them, and that was pretty much not it. Or that was pretty much it. They just told us not to do them, and they didn't really tell us what they were about or what they were.
Very little. Just teachers or security guards or authorities in general just saying don't do this, don't do that, and that was just gave us the gist of it. That was the majority.
So, would you say you were educated about drugs in school?
Not really. I just knew what they were and kind of what they looked like, and knew to stay away from that. I just remember hearing stuff like, if it was about weed, it was just stuff that it would just make you stupid and you shouldn't do it because it'll make you lazy and not motivated. And if you did cocaine, your heart would explode, or if you did LSD, you'd stare at the sun until you're blind. It's already just nice to know what I'm getting myself into instead of just trying to experiment blindly. I can know what I'm doing.
I wouldn't say I was educated on drugs. I would say I was more told not to just stay away from drugs, not to do them, not necessarily told what they did or how they worked or anything like that. In general, it made me feel like why not experiment with them? These guys are just saying it's bad. A lot of people say a lot of things can be bad, so I mean, it just really, some of these things can't be that bad. So it really made me, if anything, want to try them more.
Do you think if your school incorporated more honest, science-based education about drugs and started discussions about moderation, that you would participate and feel better about asking questions about drugs?
Yeah, I think I definitely would have, because I would have just been interested to educate myself on just about the world and what's out there. That would be a lot easier because you don't want to because there's no really other person you can talk to, because you don't want to go try to figure it out somewhere on the streets or something where there's danger and you can talk to someone you can trust.
Yeah, more of an education would have been a lot better. I feel more of an open discussion on drugs would have been a big help. More of an open-minded type deal would have been a more productive outlook on it. It would have made it a whole lot easier to get through, to not have as much curiosity about these drugs and have a firm belief on what not to do.
Do you think you would have felt differently about drugs had you had this type of education?
Yeah, I feel like I would have just maybe just been not so afraid of them, and I don't know, not just get into the stereotypes about them and just not hear, because literally all you hear is just rumors about what they are and what they do instead of just knowing for yourself and what they really do.
Yeah, I would have definitely felt less inclined to do so, because I mean, I would know more about it rather than just seeing it and knowing I shouldn't do it and then going to do it and not even knowing the effects of it or whether I did too much or anything. A lot of these drugs, these over-the-counter drugs, prescriptive drugs, are a lot worse than some of these drugs that are out there on the streets, because a lot of people feel that it's safe, but if you look at the warnings or in the commercials, it just says may cause blood from kidneys, or you may pee blood, or may cause dizziness, do not operate heavy machinery and things like that. And if, that stuff sounds a lot worse for you than some of these drugs out on the street.